Hey everyone, this is Benedikt Jockenhöfer from BJ Dancetowels, and today's video is about how you can get perfectly synchronized everything in Zoom for your classes. So if you are a dance teacher, maybe even a tap teacher, or if you are a musician, a singer, and you want your audio, your video, your microphone, everything to be perfectly synchronized to the millisecond in Zoom, or if you are a DJ and you want to make sure that you're clapping on 2 and not on 1 if you're playing swing, then this video is for you. So this is all really new stuff. I figured out how to put it all together, and I'm gonna make it really simple, so even if you're not a tech nerd, you will be able to do this. This is mainly for Mac. The principles are gonna work the same on a PC. I'm gonna start the video by explaining to you the principle of how it all works and how it is set up, and afterwards we're gonna have a step-by-step tutorial, so we will make sure that if you just follow along this guide, you will have a working system in the end. So that's the goal, and without further ado, let me thank you Ali Tagavi from SwingStep who asked me to do this video, and let's get started. You are gonna have different input sources, which means you're maybe gonna have a camera, some music, and a microphone. If I look over there, it's because there's my screen. So you want to get all these different sources to your participant of your course. Maybe it's going to be the next Frankie Manning. Took this picture from our lovely Dancetowels box. You want to have the perfect audio and video and all synchronized over there. And you get your audio to him or to her by Zoom. So we want to have the audio synced up and streamlined before it hits Zoom. So we're gonna have one way the video comes in and one way perfectly synchronized audio comes in. But to achieve that, for video it's relatively simple, but for audio, we're gonna need something that takes all the different sources. In this case, we're gonna work with just 2, but you could have 10 or 20 or whatever, how many different sources you want. And you need something where they get all put together, something like a funnel. And this funnel is going to be a virtual audio cable, a little program which is for free, like all the software in this tutorial. And you put everything synchronized into this virtual audio cable, and then you tell Zoom, this is your microphone, and this is all you're going to have to pay attention to. But to get the audio into this virtual audio cable and to synchronize it, we need a great software that's called OBS. It's called Open Broadcaster software, which synchronizes, reroutes, and bundles all this data and all our sources. So this is the software that you will need. You will get, of course, something like Zoom, or maybe you use Jitsi or Microsoft Teams or whatever service that you use. Then you need OBS, and you need a plugin for OBS, which is really new. It has been developed in January 21, and it's called Audio Monitor, which makes this whole process doable now. Then you will need 2 different audio cables, virtual audio cables. One is black hole and one is VB cable. I'm going to show you how to use them, how to install them. That's all you need. You can also find the links in the description, of course, so you can just give it a click and directly go to the download page. So the first software you will need is OBS, of course. So this is the OBS. You just click on the version that you need. If you're a Mac user, probably it's Mac OS 10 here. It also works with Big Sur. I'm running it on Big Sur right now. The second thing that you need is this Audio Monitor plugin for OBS. You just go here, you just click the download link, and you install everything. The third software you need is the VB audio software. It's called the VB cable. You have a Windows version here and a Mac version here. This is completely for free. You can donate if you want some more virtual audio cables, but you will not need them for this setup. What you will need is another virtual cable called Black Hole. If you go to their page, you will get to this formula that you can see here, and you just put in your email address and your name, and you will get an email which includes a link that brings you to this page where you can download either the 2-channel or the 16-channel version. I downloaded both of them. I use the 16-channel version, but you can also use the 2-channel version. There's basically no difference in them for what we are gonna do right now. So that's all you need. Go out, install everything. It will take you like maybe 20 minutes to get all the stuff done. And once you've installed it all, come back and restart the video. So now that you've already installed everything, and maybe you already had it all installed, let's look at what we're specifically gonna do so you know what the process is gonna be like. So we are gonna take our music, and this will be our first stream of audio. The music, maybe it comes from your QuickTime player, or it comes from YouTube, or it comes from Spotify. In this case, we're going to use Spotify. You want that music to go into your audio MIDI setup, and there you set it in such a way that it gets into Black Hole. So the Spotify music goes into Black Hole. From there, it goes into OBS. In OBS, we're gonna use audio monitor filters from the app that we just downloaded. And from this audio filter, the sound is gonna go to our virtual audio cable. And from there, it will go straight into Zoom and to your participants. So this is the first stream of audio that we're gonna set up. And the second stream is gonna be your microphone. So we have the microphone here, and that one goes straight into OBS, into the audio monitor filter, and from that to the virtual cable. And from there, again, it's mashed together to be just one single audio source for Zoom. So Zoom doesn't do anything here. We might run into a little problem when setting all of this up, because this all here is inaudible. So you will not hear anything of this if you just set this up. But you are a dance teacher maybe, so you kind of want to listen to the music as well. So we need to add also one sound output that goes to your speakers so you can actually hear that. Then you also want to maybe listen to your participants. Maybe they have a question and you of course want to answer them. So you need also a audio channel to go back to your speakers so you can actually listen to that and hear what they're saying. So this is a thing that we're gonna set up, and you start by setting something up that makes it possible for you to set it all up and for you to also listen to the YouTube video at the same time. So first you go to the Finder and you go to Audio MIDI Setup. You get the Spotlight search and you type in audio MIDI setup, and this is what comes up. And here you see all your different inputs and outputs, and here you will already see that there's the Black Hole. It will show which version you've installed. I've installed both. You don't need both, you just need one. And you will see the VB cable if you've already installed that, and you will see something like your Mac speakers or your headphones, in this case these. So what you will eventually do is you will set it the way that I have set it. You will set your Black Hole to be your sound output. In my case, it's grayed out because it already is my sound output. But for you to be able to set it up and listen to me, you need to click on the plus. You click on create multi-output device. And this multi-output device, you want to have black hole checked, one of them, not two, just one. And then select one of your external, maybe headphones, or select your speakers, or you have a Bluetooth box. Click that one as well, and you will have this, a multi-output device. You right click on it and you click on use this device for sound output, and you will have this as your sound output. Eventually afterwards you want to change it back to be this, but for now we're gonna use this multi-output device. So if you've set this up, for the next step we already jump into OBS. So let's get started. This is OBS. If you open it the first time, it will probably look a little like this, and you will not see all these elements here, but that doesn't have to bother you. We will go through it all together. In the end, it will probably look something like this. So it's not too many things here. You actually don't need the main screen part either. You just need 1, 2, 3, 4 different inputs here if you have a camera, a microphone, and, well, your desktop sound. We start by adding sources here in these in this sources window. So we start by right-clicking, add, and then we start with our video capture device. We click on create new, we just name it camera, we click on OK, we click on device, and you just pick which one you have, and that's gonna be it. So this is my camera. In this case, you're gonna have it up here. You can drag and drop and make it bigger and smaller. If you don't have these two screens, don't worry, it's just a click on here, then you have one screen. I just like this screen better. So now you have your camera in here, and this is the main screen. You don't need this. This is just for the recording of this video. And then you will want some virtual cables. So first you set up your virtual cable. You go to add, audio input capture. You name it whatever, virtual thing. And here at device, you click on VB cable. But this is your VB cable, this here. And you're gonna do the same with black hole. So add audio input device, black hole, okay. And you click here, black hole, and then you choose the one cable that you used before in your audio MIDI setup. For the last, I'm gonna add, of course, the microphone, because we need that. And you go to add, input capture, micro, okay, and you again go here. In this case, it's the H5 for me, but this could be any kind of microphone that you might have. So now that you've set up all of these different parts, it might occur that they don't show up here. If they don't show up here, just click on hide in mixer and then click on hide in mixer again, and you will see them. Right now, you will only see maybe the microphone flickering right here. So the black hole is gonna be where our sound from our Mac comes in. The microphone is, of course, where the microphone sound comes in, and the virtual cable is what Zoom will hear. Let's set up how the audio is routed through this OBS system. And we're gonna do that by adding so-called audio monitor filters. That's what this brand new software is bringing in, the plugin that you just downloaded. So basically, you want to right-click on your device here, or you can also right-click here. It doesn't matter. you right click and you go to filters. And here you can see that I have set up audio monitors. So you do this by right clicking on this field, you go to add, and you add audio monitor. You can call it whatever you want, virtual cable, maybe. And this audio monitor, this here, you can go to device, and here you select VB cable. So that makes it that all of the audio, when you have this filter on, the audio from this incoming source will get routed into your virtual cable. Like so. And you can see, you can here adjust the volume that you need. And you can also, and this is going to be really important, add a delay, which means that the sound that comes in from the source will get delayed before it reaches the virtual audio cable, which means before it reaches Zoom. And this is what we're going to use to synchronize it later. But for now, let's just set this all up. So we're going to set it up for this. We're going to set it up for the microphone as well. So we go to filters. We're going to add a audio monitor. You can always switch it off here by clicking on this eye, but just leave it on. Device, virtual cable. In the last case, this is the virtual audio cable. We don't want to route the virtual audio cable to the virtual audio cable, of course, but we want to eventually be able to hear what Zoom hears. So we need an audio monitor, add audio monitor, that goes to our headphones, in this case here, which makes us able to hear what Zoom will hear in the end. So if you set it up this way, it might happen that you hear me twice now, because you actually hear me once through the audio MIDI setup and once through OBS. So now you can go back to your audio MIDI setup here and deselect this multi-output device, go back to the black hole and use this device for sound output. So you hear me only once, because the rerouting of the sound is going to be done by OBS right now. So once you've set this up, we're going to start with the synchronization. And we're going to do this via this process. We are going to use our speaker to put a precise audio into the microphone. So we're going to have the music from Spotify go into the audio filter and into the virtual cable. And we're going to put the audio from OBS right into our speaker. That goes into our microphone and back into the audio filter. And we're going to listen to what Zoom will be listening to, and we can synchronize them and all these audio channels before they hit Zoom. And we're going to do this with our ears, because in fact that's the most precise measuring instrument that we have. The good thing is, if you've set this up once, you will only have to do minor adjustments of like maybe 10 or 20 milliseconds the next time you set it up. An important note here: you have to always adjust to your slowest device. So whatever is your slowest device, you need to adjust everything to that. For some of you, that might be your camera, because you're, for example, using a Blackmagic camera, which is a really good camera, but you need a external video card or a capture card to get the video into your Mac. In my case, I'm using a Canon camera, and they have a software which is really amazing because it lets you deliver video into your PC or your Mac without any additional capture card needed. If you're just starting out and thinking about buying a camera for zoom sessions to make your picture look nicer, I definitely recommend getting this one because you don't need an additional capture card. So if your slowest device is your video, you need to first make sure that your video and your sound is synchronized. And then you synchronize the different sound sources to the sources that you've already synchronized. In my case, my slowest device is my microphone. So that's why I am synchronizing the microphone and the sound from the Mac together first. And afterwards, I will delay the picture of my camera to the point where it is synchronized with the audio that is already synchronized. What you want to set up first, though, is you go here into Black Hole, go to Filters, and you add another filter. You add another audio monitor, which is going to be a box. In this case, it's this little Bluetooth box, because I want the sound to go out of this box, which is the box that I'm gonna use to listen to the music myself while I'm teaching. And I want the sound that goes out from this box to be perfectly in sync with the sound that gets in through this microphone in this case. And that to be routed into the virtual cable, and you can listen to the virtual cable with your headphones. So you go to the Black Hole and you add this monitor filter, like this audio monitor filter. You call it like Bluetooth box or speakers or whatever, and you select here the speakers that you want to use. In my case, these are my speakers here. You can use whatever speakers you want. There's also like Mac Mini speakers. Don't use the headphones because you're gonna need the headphones for something else. And then you want to listen to what the virtual cable actually brings out. So this is your Zoom ear if you want. And you click here on the audio monitor, you add this audio monitor, add audio monitor, and you click here to your external headphones. So you plug in your headphones into your Mac. I will start a sound file, and for me this is going to be a click, which it is a metronome that you can find at Spotify. Drum, drum, drum. And I'm gonna listen to this again like I did 1,000 times through the last 3 days to set this all up for you. And you will hear right now what Zoom will hear when you first set this up. You will be hearing 3 clicks, but it is actually just 1 click coming in through Spotify. But you will also in this live situation hear these 3 clicks. The first click will be the one that's coming out from your speakers, in this case these little ones. The second click is going to be what comes out through your Black Hole in here in the speakers, and the third click is going to be the sound that's coming back from the microphone into the virtual cable. So you're going to hear the speaker sound first in real life, and then you're going to hear 2 clicks in this in these headsets, but you right now will hear all of them at the same time, so you can see / hear what that all feels like. So let's start nice and slow. So these are the 3 sounds. All right, and what you do now to synchronize it is you want to see which sounds are the first ones. for me, I know that the black hole sound, well, actually, usually you can see it here, but I have to switch it off for this recording. But you will know which is your fastest connection. Usually the black hole will be the first one, and then the microphone will be the second, and then there's going to be other microphones if you have them. But for now, you want to delay the black hole until it matches the microphone sound. So you go here, right click, go to filters, and then you see the VB cable filter, and you have a delay. And for me, I just listen to it and try to figure out how much it is. This should be around 300 milliseconds delay. So I put in a delay of 300. And you can already hear that it's pretty close together. So now I try to mess around with it a little and figure out how much delay I need. So I'm going to try. Whenever you feel like there's nothing going on and it's not picking up the changes that you've made, just click on this eye a little and click back on it, and you will see that something's changed. So we're really close now. So after fiddling around with it for a couple of minutes, there we have it. Perfectly synchronized audio with a delay of 269 milliseconds. It will be a little bit different every time you restart the computer, every time you set this up again, but it's not going to be much, just a couple of milliseconds, like 10 or 20. So let's start synchronizing our video and our sound. There is two ways of doing this. One is relatively simple. You have your headphones here and you look into your screen and you see how that is synchronized up. So you snap and you try to just eyeball if what you see on your screen is the same as you hear in your headphones. That is usually enough for most cases because there is a natural delay in the sound, which means it's natural that the visual aspects arrive in your eyes before the sound in your ears. That's just because sound takes longer to travel through air. If you want to make it really precise, for example, for a tap class, then there is another method for you. First, let me show you how to delay different parts. You cannot speed up anything, so you can just adjust by delaying parts. So if you need to delay your camera, you go into sources, into camera, you right click here on your camera, you add a filter, and you add a render delay filter, right click, add, and then you add a render delay. Mine is set to 200 milliseconds right now. So let's sync up this video and audio. So you want to record just a little clap like this. Now you open a software, which is your video editing software. In this case, I will open DaVinci Resolve. If you don't have a video editing software, I highly recommend you to use DaVinci Resolve. It is completely free and it can do amazing things. You just can download it. I use it all the time. Go to DaVinci Resolve, like so, and you have your timeline here, and you Command I import the little file that you just recorded, and you will zoom in, zoom. So now you will hear that this is the clap. For the next part, I'm going to be slightly off, and then I'm going to be adjusting that live so you can see how that actually looks and feels. And now you go to right before where it is, and you see that my hands are already closed. So now we know that my video is a little bit too earlier than the sound. So I just count how many frames I am off. And I do that by clicking on the keyboard. So I go to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 frames. Now I know my video is 9 frames too early. I'll write that down. Then I go into my calculator. I type in 1000 milliseconds. I divide that by the amount of frames that my video is in. This one I know is 60 frames per second. Yours might be at 30, but you can adjust that in the OBS settings. But in this case, you divide it by 60 for 60 frames per second, and you end up with 16.6 milliseconds per frame. So now I multiply this by the amount of frames that I have, so times 9, which means 150. I write that down. So now I know that my video is 150 milliseconds too fast. I need to either delay the video for that amount or speed up my sound, whatever is possible for you. So I go back into OBS. I go to the camera, right click, filters, render delay, and I have a 50 millisecond delay. And I'm going to add the 150 to that, so that's 200, and I close it. So now what I should have perfectly synchronized video. And now let's check if my sound is still in sync. So I click on the black hole again, so you can hear that as well. And I will start with my metronome. So let's go. It's very slightly off. So I'm gonna try to make it so. All right, so that's it. Perfectly in sync, everything. So now that you've set this all up, you are ready to set up Zoom. This is going to be the last step, by the way. So you start Zoom, you set up a new meeting. This is me. And you need to do a couple of settings here. So first thing you want to do is you want to go to your audio settings here. You want to select your microphone. And in this case, the microphone has to be your VB cable, because you just set up everything to be perfectly synchronized in this VB cable. So this is going to be your microphone, nothing else. And you want to select your speakers, because of course you want to hear what the people you're teaching to are saying. If they have any questions, you want to answer them. So you want to set up either your speakers or your headphones, whatever you're going to use. Just use your speakers eventually. Go to audio settings. For the audio settings, we go here to music and professional audio. So you want this checkbox to be checked so you can turn on the original sound. That's really important. And you want to check on high fidelity music mode. This will take more of your bandwidth. If you're receiving unstable connections, then you want to switch this off again. We can directly go into video already. For video, you can go to HD if you have a good connection. Again, if you have connection problems, switch this off. And you want to mirror your video because that makes it easier to see everything. And that's it. That's what you set up here. And then you need to do, you will find up here a little button that says turn on original sound, and you click that. That is really important because otherwise Zoom will think that some parts of your amazing swing music are noise in the background and will mute it out. So you don't want Zoom to interfere with anything here. Then you go back to OBS, and in OBS you need to start your virtual camera. This here. It's also a relatively new feature that has been developed, which is great. You start this, and then you go to Zoom again, and you can start the video, and as video you select a camera and you select OBS virtual camera. And if you will start the video, I will do it right now, then you will see that you can see the exact thing that you've set up here in OBS. I'm gonna start it, and you can see this nice little mirror effect where it goes on and on and on forever. Now you have perfectly synchronized sound and video in your Zoom call. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them in the comments below. Just leave me a comment if you have some ideas, if you want to know something more, and if you like this video, just leave us a like and maybe subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot of other new videos like this one coming out. I will put up a version for PC. I will show you how to do it all with wireless microphones. I will show you how to get your cell phone to be your wireless microphone, so you can actually swing out while using only your phone, because I know that not many people are swimming in money right now. So you will get versions on how to do things easily and cheaply right here. Oh yeah, and if you think this cool swag is cool, we created Dancetowels for dancers that look like cool scarves. And this is the pattern of the Savoy. So if you're interested in that, go to dancetowels.com and you will find some of them there. So enjoy, set it all up, and I'm sure this will work greatly for you. Bye and keep swinging.